UNC is a flat-out disappointment. Will that change in 2024? Welcome to the Voice of College Football, breaking down the game we all love each and every day with you. Best discussion, debate, and analysis. We are reviewing ACC schedules. They were just released last week. Mack Brown took over for Larry Fedora at North Carolina and just raised that program in regards to recruiting and on-field results instantly. But the last few years have been somewhat disappointing. This has been a would-be breakthrough program, and they have yet to break through and lost 5 games in 2023. Drake May, see ya, off to the NFL. So his career somewhat wasted in regards to pursuit of championships. Max Johnson, now the quarterback, leading this team against this schedule. Starts off with a Thursday night showdown at Minnesota, taking on the Golden Gophers, coming off a bowl win, but a 6-7 season. North Carolina won the matchup in the first of a home-and-home series, Heels 31-13 in 2023. Then a date against a Group of 5 in-stater Charlotte, coming off a 3-9 campaign, and another in-state game against North Carolina Central. James Madison, North Carolina, that should be a nice little matchup, as JMU's coming off that 11-2 campaign, and we know that North Carolina's had some classic matchups against App State in-state, and JMU cut from that same cloth. Then we get into ACC play with a date at Duke. These two teams played an overtime thriller, 45-42, and now, of course, the Dukies, coached by Manny Diaz, and they bring in Malik Murphy at quarterback. And Manny Diaz is 0-3 against North Carolina while coaching Miami. Then it's North Carolina and Pitt. The Panthers had a down year at 3-9 last year, but North Carolina and Pitt had been the most consistent winners in the old Coastal Division and matched up and played some really great games, some barn burners between these two schools. We'll see if Pat Narduzzi's team bounces back. North Carolina and Georgia Tech. This was a barn burner as well. 46-42 Jackets last season as Brent Key and company made it back to postseason play and won a bowl game at 7-6. Then North Carolina gets 2 byes with only 2 games in between. At Virginia, Cavaliers 3-9 last year, but they were good enough to beat North Carolina as a 23-point dog. And the date at Doak Campbell Stadium against FSU. The Seminoles, of course, the defending ACC champions, with a much different look in 2024 with tons of personnel losses. DJ Uiagalelei coming in at quarterback. Then the stretch drive includes Wake Forest coming off a disappointing down year at 4-8, but Dave Clawson always has his team prepared. Then at Boston College, Jeff Hafley with a bounce back year at 7-6, and then the traditional rivalry in-state Tobacco Road matchup, North Carolina State. Carolina having a rough time against Dave Doran's club, 2-6 in the last 8 meetings as the Wolfpack finished off a fine 9-4 campaign. The Heels play a pretty difficult ACC slate. The only 2 opponents that you would see as talented teams that could project high this season would be, of course, Louisville coming off a championship game appearance and Miami. Virginia Tech had a decent season, of course, last year, and you had Syracuse as well. Cal, Stanford, SMU, North Carolina is one of the few teams, and maybe the only team in the conference that does not play any of the new teams coming into the league. As mentioned off the top, this program has been knocking on the door. Mack Brown's done an exceptional job, or at least he did early on, upgrading the program. The recruiting has been really strong, but they went to an ACC championship game and lost by 4 scores 2 years ago. Otherwise, it's been a disappointment. Coming off 8-5, Carolina got to break through. Max Johnson at quarterback. We'll see if the Heels can get it done in 24. Leave those comments and questions down below. Lock it in here at the Voice of College Football. Subscribe. Why? You hit the bell for the notifications to know when we go live. We enjoy those call-in shows. You will as well. We'll see you next time.